Have you ever wondered how I make my LPS set? Well, today I'm gonna show you. If you're a beginner and have never made an LPS set before, I recommend taking a cardboard box, cutting 2 of the sides off, and there you have the base of your set. But I want to do something a little bit more advanced, so I made the walls and I made this little platform. So when I glue it together, it looks something like this. Like I said, you can easily just take a cardboard box, cut it and how you want it, but I do it like this because I thought it looked cool. For the wallpaper, I just found images on Pinterest and then printed them out. You can also just use scrapbook paper if you do not have a printer, but I do it this way because it's cheaper for me. And I just glue it in with liquid glue. When using liquid glue, I do spread out the glue with a little square of cardboard. You can also use a paintbrush, but I don't want to ruin my paintbrushes, so I'm just using a little square of cardboard. And I also use some black construction paper for some walls. And after I do that, I leave a little excess so I can fold it over and make the edge look a lot cleaner. And I just kind of cut it into a triangle shape and I just glue it down so it makes the edge so much cleaner and you cannot see any of the cardboard. And I do that everywhere. And when there is a piece sticking out, I just do the same exact thing for all of the edges. So yeah. And here's the finished wallpaper. If you have any extra cardboard shown, you can just glue paper over that. Now I'm going to work on the borders. For that, I'm just taking small strips of paper and gluing them in the corner or where anything connects. So for the black, I used white, and for the teal, I used black. Here's that all done. It doesn't look the best, but I promise it will look good at the end. Platform is, and I just glued paper, and I just folded paper where the little folds are and glued it on. And now I'm doing the floor with this carpet I found. It's not real carpet, it's just printed out carpet, but yeah, and I'm gonna do the floor for that. So I cut a little slit, or a little I don't even know, so it would fit. Since my thing is so weirdly shaped, this has been very difficult to do the wallpaper and the floor, but I promise you it will be worth it. And I also fold the paper over so we have a nice clean edge, and there it is. Not the best, but it works. Now for the wall decor, I just printed stuff out that I found on Pinterest or made myself, and we're gonna cut it out and glue it to the walls. A little trick here, when you are filming or doing this for a filming a video, you want to make sure it's closer to the bottom because your camera is not up at an angle. It's mostly straight forward. So if the wall decor is too high up, you won't be able to see it in the video and it will just look weird. So a little tip there. I'm also gonna just make a little door that I've printed out and just glue it. You can make a real door, but I'm too lazy. Now I'm gonna take this dollhouse furniture that I got off of Amazon and paint it so it matches everything. I am using my dad's paint markers. Sorry, Father. After seeing how wobbly and lopsided my set was, I decided to trim it and glue just a piece of cardboard to the bottom of it, and that helped a little bit. Now I started putting in all the furniture. I also made this little book with real pages based off my favorite book, so I could add it to my set. It's adorable. For the accessories on the vanity, I did hot glue them to the vanity so I cannot knock them over. And I did the same thing for the TV. Now for the bed, I'm actually going to add a little sheet to it, but I want it to look more puffy and more like it has a mattress on it. So I'm taking this little fluffy fabric, I don't know what it is, and I'm just gluing some other fabric, thinner fabric, so it looks a little bit more like a sheet / mattress. And then I'm taking more of that fabric and I glued it in place only on one edge, so that way it can lift up and I can put my LPS under the blanket, like so. Then for the pillow, I folded it in half, put fluff stuffing in it, and then glued the edges, and then I rolled up another piece of fabric into a little tube to make another pillow. And then I'm just going to make another blanket out of fabric, and I glued that to the black blanket completely, making sure it can still lift up. And that is the bed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the furniture in place because it kept falling over because it's lopsided a little bit. So I actually just glued the vanity and the wardrobe. Then I added more fluffy fabric to make another little rug. Here I glued down the vanity. Now I'm adding a window that I made in Canva and just gluing that on. You can make an actual window like I did in my one set, but that was a pain, so I'm not doing that here. And my set is finally complete. This set took a couple days to make because I wasn't very motivated, so it took a while and I kept taking multiple breaks. But here it is. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you make more sets for yourself and for your LPS. Bye!